Here's one clip of the Khan interview.
He named you as a commissioner, and then he made you chair. So how long after you were named and joined the FTC were you named chair?
It was shortly after I was confirmed by the Senate.
How much after?
I think a matter of hours.
Hours. So you're confirmed and boom, he names you chairman. Wow. You didn't have time to take your coat off, move into your desk. Did you know what was coming? Were you shocked?
I was pretty surprised, but you know, it was a great honor, and we have a really excellent team at the FTC, and it's been just the honor of a lifetime to get to lead such a courageous and talented group of civil servants.
Well, there were already commissioners there, who some had been there for years, and you were very young. I don't know if they saw you as an interloper.
How has Lina Khan avoided scrutiny from the establishment media and politicians? Boring. That's it. Literally, FTC. It's like, I think that's what it is. It's just paperwork. Like she is very, I mean, she's utilizing existing law and you know, utilizing paperwork to go after major corporations. With even the mere threat of the FTC coming after them ends up actually creating change. That's it. Good luck explaining to someone why it's like really up that a federal regulatory agency, the federal regulatory agency is like operating in the ways that it's supposed to in terms of like, you know, trust busting. Good luck. That is an incredibly difficult, like Republicans and their hyper focus on culture war unironically has had this devastating impact on their other war that they used to engage in on a regular basis, which was to consistently farm out a new crop of American loyal soldiers that would have the dumbest opinions you've ever heard of, like Amazon has to be a monopoly in order to get me all my cheap, okay? And because of their hyper focus on culture war issues, they completely dropped the ball in many respects and are basically on autopilot in many respects in terms of like all of the other things that they have to constantly do a full court press on in terms of protecting corporate interests. And I think that is how Lina Khan was able to successfully sneak in to the equation and do what she's been doing. I think that's what it is. Because honestly, like if you ask actual executives, if you ask those with real power, including Democratic donors, as a matter of fact, what are you looking at? Cutie pie? Little Berber? Anyway, if you ask those who are Democratic Party donors, for example, they literally don't want her. They want Kamala Harris to fire her. Okay, they want Kamala Harris to fire her. Oh yeah, the conversation about like this is an incredible one, dude. Like this is such a fun, fantastic story. Okay, it is a fantastic story about the power, the awesome power that the federal government still holds in terms of being able to get corporations to do things that they should have been doing without corporate influence. I mean, without government intervention and without government influence. Okay. I've never heard of her before. Is she progressive? I mean, I've sung her praises quite a bit. But yes, she is. She is a incredibly impactful and very progressive force within the Democratic Party, like within the regulatory bodies. She's fantastic. She is phenomenal. Her and the NLRB, if Biden wasn't, I'm not even kidding, if Biden wasn't like Mr., I would probably be singing their praises every day from here on out until come November time. If like October 7 did not happen, there were a lot of issues that I have with the Biden administration, especially on immigration. But this is like FTC and the NLRB are two phenomenal ways in which the American government has actually moved the needle in a very positive direction. Yeah, this is the asthma inhalers part. It's nuts, dude. Look at this. Oh my God. It takes this conversation, this merger conversation is like them claiming that they have to merge because of competition, because Amazon is like far too large and far too dominant, and Walmart is far too large and far too dominant. It's like, no, they should be broken up too. Okay. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, dude? God damn it. Unless the federal government seizes all of these corporations once they monopolize, and inevitably they will, okay, unless we nationalize it like that, I'm not in favor of these moves. Inflation makes the prices go up. Inflation dropping doesn't mean prices magically go down. People don't understand. No, there is that element of this. There's that element, except you also have to understand that if inflation is going up, okay, if inflation is going up, your wages are supposed to also go up alongside it. If your wages are not, if your wages aren't going up high enough, then inflation is just simply eating away at your wages. That is negative real wage growth, which occurred under the Biden administration. Okay, but beyond that, there are absolutely industries that deserve to have their bubble popped, that deserve to actually experience genuine. I 100% committed, firm believer that there has to be deflation in the housing market. I don't care about the devastating impact that it has on the average American who relies on their housing prices consistently going up. Housing prices has to go down, not remain stable as wages catch up. They have to go down. Rent has to go down, okay? For far too long, we've had insane levels of inflation in the cost of housing, the cost of rent, college education, and also pharmaceuticals. These are things that you need in order to survive, okay? And anywhere where there is like inelasticity of any sort in the demand, you have seen these massive price increases, and the government is supposed to intervene. They are supposed to interfere, and they are supposed to regulate these markets, and they completely have dropped the ball, dog. It is ridiculous. It is unconscionable. It should be illegal, okay? It is unacceptable. The real reason why we obviously chirp about inflation now is because another industry that has been relatively stable in its prices also experienced real inflation as a direct consequence of the issues that we talked about. Hold on, I gotta get the door.
Prices often come down because of
I think what I should do is actually on her for like in the broadest marketplace, in the broadest like moment in front of the public eye, her demonstrating the pure evil nature of greedy capitalist pharmaceutical corporations because she didn't execute the leadership and immediately seize control over the pharmaceutical corporation and then make it a nationalized product. So, you know, it's really up that she didn't do that and instead actively is communicating after like genuinely taking action, okay? Actively communicating to as broad of an audience as possible that like this is unconscionable, that like they get away with on a daily fucking basis. That it goes in far enough, she needs to abolish commodity production. Yes, I agree.
CEOs say she's biased against them, that Lina Khan picks on winners
I'm sorry, man. Look, I am not so far removed from the reality or so nihilistic that I'm gonna look at a gift horse in the mouth. Okay, like this is fantastic. This is the application of the theory. Okay, it's like this. If tomorrow the United States of America and our legislative body got together and went, "Oh my God, we have a thing called the Leahy Law." I totally forgot, guys. What we should do is maybe apply it to our weapons transfers to Israel. And then they stopped it. I wouldn't be like, why are they not prosecuting Benjamin Netanyahu already? Okay. I'd be like, thank you immediately. I'll be like, thank God. Okay. That's it. That's literally it. Because I understand, unfortunately, what is even remotely acceptable or what could possibly happen in this circumstance. Obviously, that is a laughable thing. It will never happen. But imagine if it did. In this hypothetical, if that happened, I would be insanely excited. Okay. Like maybe they shouldn't be prominently displaying her on 60 Minutes. Like, I don't know. I feel like on the one hand, I think to myself, this is good. Like, I'm glad that she's there. She's doing the work. I'm glad that she's like getting maybe a protective barrier around her in terms of like public pressure. But also on the other hand, I know that like the Democratic Party does not give up about public pressure. I mean, duh, look at Israel. And if there's enough like corporate, if there are enough corporate overlords that go, no, she got to go, they're going to succumb to said pressure and kick her out. I don't think many people watch 60 Minutes. I mean, this is a pretty big meet. Okay. Remember what I told you about like the Republicans dropping the ball on this sort of stuff because they're hyper focused on the culture war? Here's what I mean. Back in the day, the Republicans would have an immediate retaliation to someone like this. They would be like, they're coming after small businesses. Lina Khan and the FTC wants to, break up your small business. They want small business owners. It doesn't have to be real. It never is. But Republicans would at least like immediately try to democratize the hurt. Right? Oh, the estate tax. Like, oh, they're going to come after you when you die. They're going to take your Honda Civic. You won't even be able to give that to your child. They have a very good communications platform to take like a policy that does not even touch anyone that isn't on the top of the 1% and make it seem as though the average dickhead living in a trailer park in West Virginia is going to be dominated by big, scary government. They really haven't done that with the FTC. Okay? They really haven't done that. Like, they haven't even communicated to a broader market of Republican Party voters and stupid idiots that like Lina Khan would destroy their small business that they haven't even launched yet. And I think it's because, one, the Democrats don't necessarily do a lot of propaganda beefing up this aspect of their governance, which they should. And the other reason is because they're too busy talking about Haitians eating cats. Okay? That's it. I think they're like too invested in like trans penises and cat memes to care about this, because that stuff requires a lot of time and effort to propagandize and actively make a position that people are angry against, like school choice, right? There are years and years of Republican propaganda for school choice, when the obvious reason for why school choice is a thing in the is a prominent part of the Republican platform is because, well, a couple different reasons. One, desegregation. Another reason, of course, is teachers' unions. And also early on, like removing the standards of like public education so that people can, not get the adequate education necessary. It's just like even wielding the authority of the office is enough for a lot of corporations to just be like, all right, I'll drop it for now. And it's kind of like the legal subheader, that official that makes any kind of statement way more official. When it's coming from you, it's something. But when it's coming from a legal letterhead, all of a sudden it's an entirely different thing. Okay? And she does that. Oh, brother. Oh, man. Oh, she's stifling innovation. Oh, no, dude. What will your startup do now? Oh, God, we are the startup nation. We are the startup nation, dog. What do you mean? Why won't anybody think of my new innovative way of having vendors that bypass the actual cashier? Okay? I'm thinking of a phenomenal idea. It's like a refrigerator that's locked. Okay. But you can see the product. This way, there is no need for a cash register or a cashier at all. You go up there, okay, and you put your credit card directly on the SquarePay, credit card reader, and then you put the code in. All right. You put the code in. And then whatever product you want that corresponds to that code drops and you pick it up. I'm calling it Bodega. Okay. Please give me $7 gorillion. I know this is an innovative new product. Okay. Yeah, that's right. You're talking about a vending machine. Excuse me. This is not a vending machine. This is an innovative new startup that is going to disrupt the entire industry of groceries. Hello? Excuse me? How dare you? That's old think. What I have is new think. Yeah. Oh, this is even better. Yeah. Call it vendor. Yeah. VENDR. And also, I'll have you know, artificial intelligence plays a prominent role. Please. I actually have decided it's now going to be $8 gorillion, not 7, but 8. Please. Next week, they're like, wait, your vending machine systems are actually, your vending machine systems that you developed in Indonesia are actually causing actually causing people to get throat cancer. Okay. It turns out that like the mechanism that the machine is using is using like a weird gas. It's emitting a weird gas that like immediately gives throat cancer to people that purchase the product. And it's like, well, you know, I've already exited out of the company, so too late. Can't punish me for it.
Others fear that
I am now an angel investor. Why is Peter Thiel's boy coming out in support of her? It's fake. And also it gives them like culture war ammo because conservatives hate like big tech. They hate big tech. And she goes after big tech. So they're like, hell yeah.
Family and that sort of thing, but
you don't want to have it with me.
but absolutely. I mean, there's so much work to be done, and it's such an honor to be in this role, and it would be an honor to have that opportunity to keep going.
It also kind of goes along with what I was talking about in terms of the Republican Party, dropping the ball big time on like developing a pro-corporate sentiment by acting like the FTC poses a serious threat, like a genuine risk to, you know, small business owners or people who want to create a small business at a certain point in their lives. Anyway, so that'll be all for today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and MBs, we did 8 hours and 30 minutes of non-stop political coverage.